Oh, you mean it's in the county? You know, that's all from Bronx Street down in Thornville.
Between Broad and Madison.
I'm trying to figure out where his house is. I was reading this in the historic preservation. Yeah.
Call the meeting to order. Let us pray, please. Dear Lord, we just thank you for this day, and we thank you for this opportunity to come together and do business for our city. Lord, we just pray that you give us the wisdom and foresight to do what's right for our citizens in Monroe. Lord, I just pray a special prayer for all of our citizens on this holiday month. Just be with them and show them the joy of the season. Lord, we ask you just be with us tonight. In your name, amen. All right, let the record reflect all council members are present. Need an approval of the agenda.
You need that?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Scott,
Second.
second by Mr. Adcock. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The agenda passes. Now we need an approval of the consent agenda.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Little,
Second.
second by Mr. Adcock. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, the consent agenda passes. We have one person signed up for public comments. I would ask excuse me, we have a public presentation first. Almost forgot that. I'm going to move this around because I don't want my back towards anybody. This time of year we have some new things going on next year, and I'm going to be kind of sad and kind of happy, but mostly sad because I'm losing a couple of council members that I've worked really close with. And I'm losing a staff member, which we all love. I'm just going to inform everyone that Renee Prather is retiring, and we'll be having her a retirement send-away. December the 17th from 2 to 5. And just know we're going to miss you. I can't say anything. Just, you've done great. So, but you know, Logan's gonna step in. He's gonna be fine, I know. But you know, you just been a part of me ever since I've been on the council, and it's been a long time. I just can't say how much you've meant to the city. Secondly, Miss Denise Dixon, come on up. You've been on the council for 10 years.
10 years.
We've done a lot of good things for the city, and the city just not going to know how good you've been, and you've been a pleasure to work with. Let me just read this plaque here in appreciation of Denise Dixon for her loyal and dedicated service on the City of Monroe City Council from November 2005 to December 2015. We're going to miss you, but trust me, you will be put to work one day. I'm not going to let you go that quick. I certainly appreciate it. Let me shake your hand, and this council definitely, and this city appreciates you. Let's get a good picture of this right here.
May I say a few words?
Yes, ma'am.
It's been indeed an honor to work with each and every one of you council members, our lawyers, every one of you staff. I've enjoyed the ride. I really have. And it's definitely been an honor and a pleasure to work for the citizens of Monroe. It is just an honor to serve the community and serve the community you live in. You will be missed, but I will be here around town. I'll see you on the sidewalk, see you Carmichael's. I'll see you all around. So again, it's just been a lovely ride, and thank you all for everything you've done for me and all the things we've done together for the city of Monroe. Thank you.
Miss Rita Scott. We came into office together as freshmen. Yours basically says pretty much the same thing. You know, the city just appreciates you for your loyal dedication and service. You've done a lot of good things for the city, and we're going to miss you. I'm going to miss you on these retreats, just hearing you talk about your food and this, that, and the other, and just and the ideas that you come up with. And but it's been, you're a true friend, and been really good for the city.
Thank you.
All right.
I want to say a few
Yes, ma'am.
things. First of all, I want to thank the citizens who voted for me term after term, putting their trust in me to make the right decisions for them. But I feel that there was a quote that Martin Luther King used to quote from a song that said, if I could help somebody, just one body, then my living will not be in vain. So if I have helped someone in this city to make their life a little easier, I am be so happy. And also I want to thank the council for putting up with me for 16 years, some old, some new. But I have had a good time, a friendly time, an honest time working with each and every one of you. We have not always agreed, but we have been respectfully disagreeable. And so I hope that this will continue with the council from now on. So I will be around if you need me to serve on some committees, but don't act too hastily. Let me breathe a minute.
Let me breathe.
Again, thank you to the citizens of City of Monroe for putting their trust in me to make their decisions for 16 years.
Okay, now we're moving to our public forum. We have one person signed up for public comments. Be Claudette Woodard. She'll step to the podium. May address the council.
Good evening. My name is Claudette Woodard, and I'd like to play a recording for you prior to giving my comments.
Hey, I need you to answer that phone today. Now, one thing will piss me off, you're not answering that damn phone today. Now, one thing I can assure you, if you don't answer that phone, this will be your last fucking time at the phone. Now, what you're not going to do is not answer the damn phone today. I can promise you that.
This message was left on my voicemail on November the 3rd because I was not available to answer Norman Garrett's call. I only assumed being a part of the Walton County Elections Committee in July of this year. And because I did not answer Norman Garrett's call, he, along with the Walton County Democratic Party, voted me off. I was never given any specific oral or written instructions. As a matter of fact, Norman Garrett stated that if he needed to give me instructions or guidelines written on how to do the job, he didn't need me anyway. The growth and prosperity that Monroe enjoys can be attributed to the innovation and progressive thinking of its community leaders. The recall of any public official doesn't happen every day, but can occur. The key is to keep their constituents happy, and while I don't live in District 5, I am a Walton County citizen. Just the other day, 2 news anchors were suspended for inappropriate language. I say to you, the message that was left to me in my mind was harsh, it was cruel, it was vicious, it was heartless, it was sinful, it was vengeful, it was callous, I believe it was bitter, and also brutal. Is this the kind of individual we want to represent our fair city of Monroe? So I say to you, we must be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Thank you.
Ms. Woodard?
Yes, sir.
On behalf of the city of Monroe, this is not the conduct that we put up with. We treat our citizens fairly. This individual's a new elected official, and I don't think he understands some of the stuff that comes with that. But I can assure you that this council right here would not and will not react to a citizen, whether you're a citizen of Monroe or a citizen of Walton County, period, in that tone. I can just apologize for the city of Monroe.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, can I address that issue?
No, sir. You have to sign up for public comments. You're not signed up. Public hearing, zoning variance 1401 Alcova Street.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. This item at 1401 Alcova Street is the long-standing variance request for the Catholic Church by Ron Cantrell, the contractor. Just to go over a few of the particulars of the matter, it's petition number 15-00244, and the request for variance is to remove the requirement for sidewalks to be installed on that property. Having heard no outreach from the church or the contractor at this point, the code office's recommendation remains the same, which is to deny the variance. In light of the fact that we have heard rumors at this point, there hasn't been any application that they may wish to de-annex from the city to remove themselves from that obligation. Again, I think there needs to be a decision on this matter, and again, my recommendation is to deny. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
Have any questions of Patrick? Okay, hearing none, we need a motion. This is a public hearing, so I'm sorry. Is there anyone who'd like to speak for this zoning variance? Anyone like to speak against this zoning variance?
My name is Pat Kaminsky, live at 824 Fairway Drive, Monroe, Georgia. When this request came up initially, I came and spoke. And when I get myself involved in something, I like to stay with it, see what happens. It'll be fair to everybody. I want you to know that the code officer, I've spoken with him a couple times on this. He has done an excellent job. He's been thorough. He's talked with Mr. Steele about ways the city could get involved, save these people some money. So I think the city has gone over backwards to try to work with this church to get these sidewalks in. Now, I may have alluded last time I spoke that I was with them, and I still think the ordinance needs some fine-tuning because I still have a problem with piecemealing sidewalks all through the city, and Lord knows how long it'll ever be to get it tied together. And I would hopefully recommend that the council would look at that and maybe try to modify that ordinance or whatever it is to get it where the sidewalks can get contiguous to each other. It would benefit the city a lot more. But as far as this organization out there, the church having to build the sidewalks, I think the city has done everything possible, and I would like to go ahead and see that sidewalk built. If that's what the law is. We treat me, if it was me, you would be asking me to do the sidewalk. So whatever's fair for one is fair for another. I want to say right now, I think the city council is going to put the code officer in a very hard situation because, yes, you can go ahead and say deny the variance. And if you do, personally, I had to go through a variance on some property myself, and you do the variance prior to starting all the work. You don't wait till everything's done and then get the variance. And that's kind of put you in an awkward position as a city council. But even tonight, if you deny the variance, I don't know how in the world you're ever going to enforce the situation to get a sidewalk built there by that church. For the simple fact you got 320 constituents that go out there that's going to tell you they don't want it. So, I mean, you know, and if they don't do it, I'm sure none of anybody sitting tonight will be able to sit there and say, let's lock the door up and say you can't go in there anymore because you don't have a sidewalk. Y'all are in a rock in a hard place. But for tonight, I'm saying, okay, y'all have done everything possibly that you can. Your code officer, your department has done well. And so I'm saying put the sidewalk in. Thank you.
Anyone like to speak against this variance?
Not today.
Okay, here now we'll bring it before council. We need entertain a motion on this zoning variance.
I'll offer a motion to deny the variance.
Have a motion by Ms. Malcolm to deny.
Second.
We have a second by Mr. Adcock. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Any opposed? That zoning variance is denied at 1401 Alcova Street. Item B is a rezone and annexation of 389 Jean Bell Road.
Sir, thank you again. And this one was also contiguous with the next item on the agenda and can be considered together as one application for annexation pursuant to rezone. Get to the right file here.
Patrick, if I can interrupt you, you can't, if you'd like to present both of these, Mayor, if the council so would enjoy, you can have one public hearing to discuss both. You can take a joint motion if one is so offered. Also could be offered a separate motion.
Don't we have to do a motion on the rezone, then we have to do a motion on annexation?
You will first take a motion on the rezone and then take a motion on the annexation.
Correct.
But we can do both properties.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So
We'll be doing a rezone annexation on 389 Jean Bell Road and 0 Jean Bell Road.
yes, sir. And the petition numbers on this is, bear with me here, 15-00294 and 00295. And it's a total of 32.08 acres. Trying to get these addresses straight, so bear with me, please. Yeah, 389 Jean Bell Road is the 5-acre tract, and the 0 Jean Bell Road is 27.08 acre tract. The applicant, Darrell L. Perry, requests a rezone and annexation for property located at the aforementioned addresses. Property is presently zoned R1 County. The requested zoning classification is R1A City. The requested zoning will permit a use that is suitable in view of the use and development of adjacent and nearby properties. Change of zoning will not adversely affect the existing and adjacent properties. The subject property does have restricted economic use as currently zoned. The change of zoning will not cause an excessive or burdensome use of existing streets, transportation facilities, utilities, or schools. And the subject property is in the county, therefore the future land use plan does not have a recommendation for that at this time. The surrounding area, I would note, is generally rural and single-family residential.
Any questions for that? Okay. Well, anyone like to speak for this rezone or annexation on 389 Jean-Bell Road? Come to the podium, please. State your name and address, and you have 10 minutes.
I don't think it's going to take 10 minutes.
Would you move that mic up?
Is that good? Okay. First of all, I'd like to just say, Mr. Mayor, I appreciate y'all having me in here. I'm not no polished speaker like some of these other folks that spoke, but I just it means a lot to me, and the reason that I would like to pull this into the city is for, just things like, Mr. Mayor, you praying like you did before this, that means a lot. And I just, and then, when I hear this lady here, when she come up here with what was on the tape and all that stuff, I know that's not what this city's about. And, and I mean, I know you apologized to her, and that's a bad situation there, and you can't control everything, and I understand that. But I just wanted to say that I appreciate y'all letting me get up here and speak. And like I said, I would like to try to get the annexation for the availability of having the sewer. And when I bought this property, what I actually bought the property for is I wanted to put like a assisted living. And I don't know if none of y'all, and I told the board before that I come to this, what I really wanted to have at the property, because you've got a school right beside it, and I wanted to have like assisted living to where it would be like, smaller, 1,500 square foot houses in there, and have like a community where you would have like a golf course, a golf cart would be able to ride around, and you would have older folks there. And then you would have like a main building there where there would be like a doctor once a week, and have something like that there is kind of what that I was looking to do at first. And I had people that was interested in trying to do something like that, and then that kind of fell apart. And then I looked at, trying to do like a 55 and older community, something like that there is what, that I looked at. But the assisted living thing is what I was really trying to get at, but without having the thing annexed and not being able to have access to the sewer, it just kind of, knocked me out of being able to do that. So that's the reason that I was trying to get this property annexed and pulled into the city.
Do you have anybody interested in doing assisted living there now?
Well, sir, I did, Mr. Bradley, I did have somebody that was interested, but, with the economy and all been like it is, it kind of fell apart, but I did have somebody interested in doing that. And, I don't know. And then, of course, the sewer runs straight through the property. And so I felt like that I could hook onto the sewer, and then I found out because it was not in the city, that I couldn't hook onto the sewer. So that guy kind of went away. So to answer your question, no, sir, I don't.
You don't have anything definite at this time?
No, sir, I don't.
Any other questions? Okay. Thank you. If there's a need, you can have 3 minutes to rebuttal, if anybody comes up and speaks to this.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Anyone else like to speak for this rezone annexation? Does anyone like to speak against this rezone annexation? Okay, hearing none, we'll close this part of the public hearing and bring it before council. We need a motion on the rezone of 389 Jean Bell Road and 0 Jean Bell Road.
Mayor, can I get a clarification on that? At this time, the property is not annexed into the city, is that correct?
That's correct.
So we're voting on rezoning something that's not in the
You
city?
have to do the rezone first. I understand it sounds backwards, but that's what you have to do first. You rezone it first and then you annex it into the
That's what I
city.
was thinking too.
So what if you approve a rezone, but then you don't annex, is that?
Then the rezone won't take place because it's not annexed into the city.
All right, and just a clarification for my purposes, if we approve this rezone, what type of structures or houses or buildings could be built under this rezone?
Well, I imagine that's,
R1A.
that's what he's asking.
The requested zoning is R1A, which would allow for a 1,300 square foot minimum house size on a 7,500 square foot minimum lot size.
Would it also allow for a assisted living facility if that?
No, if there was an interested party and they purchased it as a R1 property, they'd have to get it rezoned or propose a planned district to allow for what they wanted to do.
So the R1A is only for single-family residential?
Yes.
And that zoning allows for the maximum density for a single-family
Yes.
development.
Yes, other than the MHDO, which allows 10 per acre, and planned districts, which also,
But that's only in certain.
yeah, those are planned districts and specific zoning categories. And I believe the aim is just to get it into the city under a zoning classification. If the density causes heartburn, you could always back up and allow an R1 zoning, which would be a lower density, larger house, larger lot, and still be able, if it was agreeable, I guess, to the applicant, to get in the city, and then you'd have a lower density. So you can go for a lower zoning if you wanted to, or I guess that'd be a higher zoning.
Mayor, would you ask the applicant? They would be willing.
Would you step back up, please? A couple more questions that needs to be asked of you. Okay. I'm assuming that the council is not comfortable with the R1A zoning. Would you be comfortable with the R1 at this time?
Well, I don't really know. I think to be able to do what I got to do, I know what he'd said, but I think the R1A is what I think it's R1A, is that what I'm getting confused here. That's really, what I'd really like to have. To try to make, and I know, if we get down to the thing, and if I get somebody back on board that's wanting to do the thing, I realize we gotta, we'll have to come back before you guys and do something else, as far as looking at it again. But I just, and you said something about single family housing. It's still going to be, even if we go that way, this is not going to be like some rental property or anything like this. This is going to be a single, is for older folks, and it would be like a single, 1,400 square foot. The ones down in Peachtree City and stuff like that are about 1,500 square feet. I think they do go down to like 14, but it's like 14 to 1,600 square feet, somewhere in that range. And that's kind of what, that I'd like to try to do. If I, like I said, I don't have anybody on board now, but that's what I was trying to push for when I was trying to do this thing. And you need to be able to get that. You're not going to get, you're not going to be able to get that many lots on there because of some things that had actually happened. I've got floodplain on the property, okay, this is the reason I need to, I got floodplain on the property, and y'all can probably look at y'all's thing there and see that. Well, with the floodplain on the property, I'm gonna lose some lots anyway. And you're not gonna get as many lots as what the city says you can get. I can't get that because of the way that the land is and everything else. So, but if you get the right zoning, if you get that zoning, you can hopefully make the numbers work to be able to do that. Because what happened was, when I bought the property had, I forget how many acres of floodplain on it, which I knew that when I purchased the property. After we actually purchased the property, and they had the big flood down in Louisiana and all that stuff, and President Obama went in, they changed some things with environmental that changed. So where I thought I had like 5 acres of floodplain, now I got like 9 acres of floodplain. And so that's the reason that I need that zoning. And so that's pretty much it.
So just so I'm with you there, in order to get your numbers to match, you need to put more than 3 houses per acre.
Yes, sir. But like I said, I mean, the way that it's going to work out is you got to get the zoning. It looks to me like to be able to make the numbers work, but you're not going to be able to get the full amount that the law of the city of Monroe allows. You're not going to get that many lots on that property. There's no way to do it because of the floodplain. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? I mean, you've got certain areas there that you can't build a house on.
Some acres you could put 5 houses, some acres you might.
Yes, sir. That's exactly right. And because of the way the square footage of the lot is, makes that kind of complicated to do that.
And I don't have a problem, and I understand totally with the new FEMA maps and everything that came about, and I respect that. I just have a real hard time going to a 1,300 square foot minimum without a plan.
Right.
Follow me? I mean, if you had come to us with a conceptual and you could show us the layout and we could know the number of actual lots, I just feel so much better about it. And that's why if you go to an R1, you could always come back if you get that buyer. And certainly, you know, with the plan, there's a real good chance that we could all, you know, wrap our arms around it. But it's almost like putting the cart before the horse in the sense of going to maximum density without a plan.
Right.
But I respect what you're doing, and I feel your pain, because I know with that increase of 4 more acres of floodplain, it does.
Yeah, it kind of killed the deal. I mean.
But in R1, you're looking at, is it 1,600?
Yes, 1,600 square foot.
So that's my personal feeling.
Okay, any more questions? You're set on R1A, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we'll bring it before council now.
Mr. Mayor, if I could just interject one other thing that hadn't been mentioned. This floodplain increase does limit his available developable acreage. And he has, even though he said this sewer line runs through his property, he didn't mention that there's a sewer line easement through there too that takes up a significant amount of the acreage on his property. I just thought that might be something that needed to be considered.
Mayor, would it be appropriate to have a motion to approve this conditional upon approval of a plan at such time any building would be going on?
Well, I mean, he will have to bring the plan back.
But it wouldn't come to us.
It wouldn't come to us. If the plan, there would be a plan looked at to where it would have to be approved before he could do any building. I'm sure you can make a motion with conditions, yes.
If I can just interject, Mr. Bradley, you can certainly make a motion with any stated conditions that you feel are reasonable related to the rezone request. You can make a motion for a lesser included zoning classification, such as R1, different densities, any of those sort of things. We would not recommend that you make a motion for a return for consideration, because then you would sort of have an open-ended condition, if you will. So you can make a motion to rezone it to R1, or you can make a motion to rezone it to R1A with a lower density, like a density that matches up to the R1, or any other stated conditions that you feel are related to the rezone issues or the concerns that you have. But a motion to come back for approval where there's not concrete definitive issues would most likely not be approved.
Let me ask you this. I mean, if you wanted to put something in there, if you're concerned about the 1,300 square feet, I don't have a problem if you wanted to put a condition there to go to 1,500 square feet. I mean, that would be all right with me if you wanted to do something like that.
Have you done a topo and a conceptual?
Yeah, I did do a topo.
So you could have a land planner do a conceptual in a matter of a few days, right?
Yeah, I mean, would it be in Christmas time?
Well, I'm just saying, I hate to see you get denied, and then what does that cost them? 6 months?
Yeah.
Would you be open-minded to tabling this request and coming back to us and with a land plan that we could look at and see what you're trying to do?
Yeah, I mean, I can do that. I mean, like I said,
I don't think the square footage is a real big deal. If we can just see what you're trying to do.
And if it's,
I mean, there's a demand for small houses. I don't think that has a real problem with that. It's just the way you're doing it. You could just stack 20 of them on the front 2 acres, and and we don't know what you're doing, and then
right.
So, but if we deny it, you're kicked back 6 months.
Right.
So
you could ask to table.
Okay, and what? Say that again.
If you could just get your land planner to show us a conceptual and maybe go for approval of your zoning at that time, where we actually see what the development how it would be designed.
Okay.
If you could come back in January.
You can come back in 30 days versus if you get denied tonight, you're 6 months before you can even reapply.
Okay.
I just feel like it's a little, like Lee said, a little bit.
I think we're leaning toward approving, but concerned about approving something without any kind of plan,
Okay.
Because this is, maximum density, and certainly, there would need to be some considerations.
Okay, I mean that's fine. I mean, if it comes down to getting that, I mean I don't have a problem with doing that.
I don't think it'd slow your potential deals down. I mean, if you had a buyer, y'all could be right back in here in 30 days.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that would be fine with me. I mean, do you go ahead, and annex the thing tonight and do that, or you just wait on all of it?
We need to do it all together.
Okay.
I don't think you could annex anything without a plan either.
Right.
So that kind of, I think it's just going to cost you 30 days if you come in with a plan. It's like everybody's saying, we want to rezone it, annex it, but we got to see what you're doing.
Okay.
And, I don't think there'll be a problem with getting that done.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's fine with me. I don't have a problem doing that.
If you don't mind, I'm going to entertain a motion from someone to table this until our next call meeting in January. Is that okay?
Yes, sir, that's fine.
I need a motion from one of the council members.
Yeah, I'll make that motion. We table this until the January meeting.
We have a motion by Mr. Bradley. Second. Second by Mr. Richardson. Any more discussion on this item? Hearing none, all in favor? Any opposed? This item is tabled until January. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank y'all.
Okay, we have new business. Application for liquor and beer and wine on premises consumption, Casino Fuentes.
That application is in order, Mayor.
Is property owner or business owner here?
Present.
Okay. Need to bring it before council. For motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Ms. Scott.
Second.
Second by Mr. Richardson. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Any opposed? That passes. Item number 2 is the approval of the Chamber of Commerce contract. We have Terry here.
Would you like me to give y'all a quick update? Yes? Okay. So we've had a busy year again. One of our biggest promotions is our Antiques Capital of Georgia promotions, and of course Monroe is the home to the majority of the antiques in the community, and We appreciate Sadie and Leanne's support through DDA at Main Street. We did have our first Antiques Festival in April, and it rained all weekend. But we still had a decent turnout in spite of the rain, and did a lot of advertising, which is one of the biggest points to the festival, was to get folks here to see what we have as far as the antique places. So we are planning to do it again next April. We picked the off weekend from when the fair is in town, because it always rains when the fair is in town. So we didn't pick that same weekend, so hopefully we won't have rain. But it is April the 15th through the whatever that weekend is in April 2015. We continue to promote Buy Local, which of course helps all of our local businesses, as well as the SPLOST funds that y'all depend on for all of your mini projects. So we continue to promote that. One of the new things we added about mid-year this year was our spending $10 on the 10th. So we encourage y'all to jump on board with that. Commit to spend $10 on the 10th of the month at a local business. And we do have an organized effort if that falls during the week, where we say we're going to meet at such and such location, and then we go and surprise the business, and everybody spend $10. So the businesses love it because it gives them some quick cash, so they love it. Of course, we continue with our coffee connections, our membership luncheons. We appreciate Mayor Thompson always being willing to come speak at our State of the Cities address. And then we do have our new community magazines. You have one of those in your packets that I gave you. And then we continue our community programs, our adult and youth leadership programs, reality check program with our 8th graders. Our Walton Proud initiative is still going strong. We're looking at putting table tents on the restaurants around the county with information about Walton Proud on those, so that folks can look at them while they're waiting on their meal to come. And looking at also partnering with the various cities to include one panel of the tent card to include upcoming city events. So obviously the city of Monroe would include upcoming Monroe events, Social Circle and Loganville would include their events. And they would just share the portion of the cost to add the 4th panel, because we were going to do 3 panels. And then we promote all the city of Monroe events through our Facebook page and our e-news and such. And of course, Mayor has a seat on our board of directors. He isn't always able to come because his real job keeps him busy. But Sadie is almost always there and gives an update on what's going on in the city. So that's great. I'll be glad to answer any questions. Our contract's the same as it's been for a number of years as far as the services. So anybody have any questions?
You must have done a good job.
Okay, no questions.
Okay, we need a motion for the chamber contract for 2016.
That contract is for $4,800. That's based on so 35 cents.
Okay.
Right.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Ms. Malcolm.
Second.
Second by Mr. Bradley. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Thank y'all.
That passes. Item number 3 is to adopt the 2016 council meeting schedule. I'm sure y'all have a chance to look it over. Pretty much the same thing, work schedule on the first Tuesday and meeting on the second Tuesday. So we have any changes on July?
Not as of yet, but we'll, as soon as we schedule anything to be done, we'll bring that before you.
Okay. So right now, we just need a motion to adopt 2016 council meeting schedule.
Move to adopt the schedule.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Little, second by Mr. Adcock. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Any opposed? That passes. Item number 4 is a resolution of the MEAG Municipal Competitive Trust beneficiary. Mr. Paul.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a resolution of the City of Monroe, whereas the City of Monroe is a beneficiary of the Municipal Competitive Trust as amended, and whereas MEAG Power has requested the City reconfirm the authority and position of the individuals authorized by the City to communicate to MEAG Power the decisions of the City concerning both deposits into and withdrawals from any of the City's sub-accounts created by the Municipal Competitive Trust as amended, and whereas the City, after due consideration,
has determined that the requested confirmation as to the authority and identity of the authorized individuals is in the best interest of the city. Now therefore be it resolved that henceforth the mayor, the vice mayor, the city administrator, and the finance director, altogether as the authorized officials, are authorized to communicate the decisions of the city to MEAG Power with respect to any deposits into or withdrawals from any of the city sub-accounts established by the Municipal Competitive Trust as amended, consistent with the term of the Municipal Competitive Trust as amended, and further resolved that the city hereby authorizes the authorized officials to execute and the administrative divisions manager to attest and deliver certificates specifying the names, titles, term of office, and specimen signatures of the authorized officials and other certificates and documents that MEAG Power may require from time to time to effect the purposes of the trust and this resolution. Only 2 authorized official signatures will be required to exercise all the powers listed in this resolution. This, the 8th day of December 2015. That is the resolution, Mayor.
Any questions for Paul? Okay. Need a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Scott.
Second.
Second by Mr. Little. All in favor? Any opposed? That resolution passes. Item number 5, the approval of the 2016 budget resolution.
Matthew, do you need to say anything on this? Okay. Mayor, this is a resolution adopting the 2016 budget for the City of Monroe, Georgia, appropriating amounts as shown in each budget as expenditures, adopting the revenue projections, and prohibiting expenditures to exceed appropriations. Be it resolved by the Mayor and the City Council of the City of Monroe, Georgia as follows. Whereas for the purpose of financing the conduct of affairs of the City of Monroe during the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2016 and ending December 31, 2016, the budget of the city's revenues and expenditures for such period as prepared and submitted to the City Council by the City Administrator and so approved by the Mayor and City Council. Whereas the amounts listed on the attached are the appropriations so authorized by the Mayor and City Council and are approved for the amounts and purposes indicated. Whereas the rates listed are so authorized by the Mayor and City Council and are approved for the amounts and purposes indicated. Whereas a budget amendment is considered any motion of the Mayor and City Council to purchase items not included in these original budgeted figures. Be it further resolved that the expenditures shall not exceed the appropriations authorized by this budget, and the expenditures for the fiscal year shall not exceed funding available. So adopted by the Mayor and Council on this 8th day of December 2015. That is the resolution, Mayor.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions? Hearing none, all in favor? Any opposed on this? I guess somebody needs to make a motion.
Move to approve the budget resolution.
We have a motion on the table now. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Dixon. Any discussion? Now hearing none, all in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. Item number 6 is the approval of the CDBG 2016 grant writing agreement.
Mayor, this is just us reapplying for this 2016 CDBG grant. Again, we were not funded or approved for this grant this year, that were 2015. So we're going to reapply, and it's going to be $3,000. We will get funded and are approved and move along with our projects.
Any questions for Matthew? Okay, we need a motion on this.
I move approval of the grant writing agreement with Allen Smith Consulting.
Motion by Mr. Bradley.
Second.
Second by Mr. Curtis. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. That's going to conclude our regular meeting. We will have an executive session, so we need a motion to adjourn into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Dixon, second by Mr. Thompson. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes.
He knows you gotta